Oh, yes. Yes.
Hey guys, welcome to Podcast vs. Player episode 39. I'm Cal, and this week I'm joined by a man who once told me my birth certificate was a letter of apology that my dad got from the condom company. It's only Dan.
Hello.
Hello. How are you, young man?
I'm very good. How you doing?
I'm alright. I'm quite excited.
Oh, go on.
Have you been watching the PlayStation experience this weekend?
As I don't use any form of PlayStation, probably not, no.
That's not... You got a PlayStation 3.
Yeah, which hasn't been turned on in about 8 months.
That could change, Dan.
Oh, go on.
No, it won't. But, yeah, PlayStation experience happened this weekend. And, I'll be honest, I think I was more happy with this than I was at E3.
Well, nothing really happened sort of for Sony at E3.
There was a couple of things, nothing really stand-outy.
No.
The games they showed was really good, but nothing that was coming out until next year, the year after.
Yeah.
So it's a bit pointless. But there's a lot of stuff. I don't think any of it's going to be out this year, considering it's December now. But a lot of the big stuff is coming out next year, and we saw a lot. Surprisingly, they opened the show with Uncharted 4.
Surprisingly?
Which I thought that would have been a closer, to be honest.
Well, it depends. If it's going to be something that's like live streamed or something like that, you want to keep people's interest. So I'd say go with the big guns, yeah.
And it was amazing. You did actually see the video.
Yep, I have.
Uncharted.
And it is...
It's
speech. It will just... You can't believe how good it looks.
Considering it's an alpha as well, so it's not 100... I can't see it looking much... I mean, it's only running at 1080p, 30 frames a second at the moment. They haven't even tried 60 frames yet. But just in the state that it's in now, I think it puts most PCs to shame, I'll be honest. Stuff like Watch Dogs and stuff that have come out on PC this year, I don't think look as good as Uncharted 4 did.
No, I don't think so. Which does upset me a bit that it won't be on PC. But I like the fact that they're just going to stay where they are, they stick to their roots.
Well, you look at it in a publisher point of view, where they decide to go, fuck it, Uncharted 4's on PC. You don't know any of the other stories, so you're going to have to buy a PS3 to play them.
Well, Mass Effect, they only did 2 and 3 for PlayStation and PlayStation and PC.
Oh no, the PS3, they did a re-release of the first one.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Ah, right. See that there's only Mass Effect 2 and 3 on PC, but if they did re-release the first one, I would get them all again.
Yeah.
And play it through in one big go. But because my my original save for the 360 was on like an external hard drive, which I don't know where that is anymore. I couldn't carry it over to 2 and 3, which is a bit annoying. But it would be nice to sort of play the whole thing through. So I think some things they do need to sort of stay on one platform, so
yeah,
you know where you're going to stand. But then you could say the same thing for things like Grand Theft Auto and Metal Gear. They all started out and they stuck with the PlayStation for quite a while. And
well,
then they just
Metal Gear was originally a Nintendo franchise.
I know, but I mean, we're not going back 30 years.
Well, no, we're going back 20 years, though.
No, it was 80s, wasn't it?
It's Metal Gear Solid. Well, not necessarily 20 years, but it's PlayStation's 20th anniversary this week.
Right.
So, well, it'd be less than 20 years, I suppose, for Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got to see Nathan doing what he does best, traversing around nice landscapes. He's got a couple of new moves. My favourite being his little grapple
whip
hook
thing. Yeah,
that was amazing. And when it started, and he was just walking over the rocks and stuff, and I could see it on his belt. I was like, oh, I hope that's a grappling hook. And then when he used it, I was like, yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
And then obviously he had his little Tomb Raider dagger.
Yeah, for scaling up walls.
Scaling up the walls and stuff. Which a lot of people, and especially Xbox fanboys, are going to probably kick off saying, oh, they've ripped off Tomb Raider and stuff. And yeah, we did see that mechanic in the Tomb Raider reboot first, but as an explorer of Nathan Drake's caliber, I was pretty sure that he would have used one of those before if he was real.
Yeah, I really don't care.
It's it's something that shouldn't get people angry, but it will.
Well, but that's the thing, though. People will just find the tiniest thing and just say, "Well, this person did this first."
Yeah, but
so well, you know, a lot of the platforming was taken from Uncharted for Tomb Raider. So
I'd say pretty much the game. We won't go into that though, because I know we've got different opinions on that.
Yeah.
But that's like saying people in Call of Duty stole how they throw the grenades from how Mario throws turtle shells.
Yeah, it's just all people nitpicking.
Yeah, it's a mechanic at the end of the day.
Yeah, it works, and if, you know, I've got no issue with people taking from other games, as long as it's not a clear rip-off. Like, say if they put in, you know, the grapple hook from Just Cause, that's like a wrist-mounted thing that you can link it together, then you could say, that's a little bit too much.
Oh, you say that though, but Bionic Commando was out before Just Cause.
Yeah, but that was still like it was the same concept, as in you could still use it for the same purpose, but it was like a part of it, wasn't it?
But it was nowhere near as good.
Well, that's the thing, and plus it didn't help with, you know, exploration, and you could just use it whenever and wherever you wanted, and you could do all kinds of crazy stuff with it. So that's, again, it's taking a good aspect and saying, well, we like this from this game, but we think we can improve on it and use it in a better way. Yeah. That's fine. That's how you improve games.
If every game was original, we wouldn't have a lot of games.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But yeah, if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. It's amazing. It's about, very surprisingly, it was like 16 minutes long, which I didn't expect it to be that long.
But he didn't actually get anywhere in those 16 minutes.
It's a big fucking level.
It is.
Compared
he was just
to
jumping about.
Uncharted.
Yeah, and just shooting a few guys.
But what I did like, I don't know if it was actually how it happened or not, or whether it was just because it was a developer version, but it seemed like he didn't have to take out enemies in order to progress.
No, it did seem to be the sort of thing, because obviously there's like the tall like plants that you can hide in, and I think it's got that sort of like new contextual. You know, you'll go up against surfaces and crouch and stuff like that in the same way that Tomb Raider does. You know, where she automatically knows when there's bad guys around, you start sneaking rather than just running and go, oh shit, there's people here. Well,
to be fair, I mean, Uncharted did do that already.
No, I mean, it did the whole, you know, going through gaps in walls and stuff like that. But it was, you know, you didn't have to press anything to, like, there wasn't really a button cover system, you know.
It's kind of like in games where you'll be running and then all of a sudden you just stop and you just walk. And you're like, oh, something's going to happen here. And I don't like that.
I do to an extent. If it's you know, if they completely change their posture and how they're acting and stuff, if you've spotted there's someone about, then I think that adds to the, you know, the sort of thematics of it. Yeah. But if you don't know there's someone there and all of a sudden the music kicks in and you start slowing down and you're just like, oh, for fuck's sake, right, so there's definitely something around here. Yeah. Rather than, you know, you being not cautious enough and getting punished because of it. Now that, I think, is a good thing. So if you are just running around, people will spot you and kill you.
It depends what you're playing, because Resident Evil 6 did it. And you'd be running with Leon, and then all of a sudden he'd stop running, and you'd still be controlling him, but you could only walk, and the music could change. And a game like Resident Evil, you want it to jump out and scare you rather than because that's happened, you go, well, a zombie's going to come out, or
it is just like a warning sign flashing up.
A monster's going to come out. Yeah,
just like warning jump scare.
Like something like Tomb Raider and Uncharted, where obviously you might have done a fair bit of the game before you got to a checkpoint, and then it doesn't slow you down or whatever, and then you get shot and you get killed and you get pissed off. But something like Resident Evil, where you want to be scared.
Yeah, that's kind of the point, really.
Yeah, so games like Uncharted and etc. Yeah, we'll have it, but like horror games or survival horror and stuff, I don't want it.
No.
But no, it looks really good anyway, and we also find out Drake's got a brother.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, do you know who voiced him, Dan?
Would it be Nolan North's brother?
No.
Oh.
Troy Baker.
Really?
Yes.
Well, they're kind of the two forefront leading actor voiceover artists.
Joel and Drake.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
What I really want from Uncharted 4 is, I'll pay for it, I don't care, but I want some DLC that skins all the enemies into clickers. And, like, the bit, you know where he was creeping up on them and they were talking to each other?
Yeah.
It's just clickers talking to each other. That'd be amazing.
Well, that's why it needs to come out for the PC, so people can mod it.
That's true. To be fair, how good would it look on PC?
Oh, don't.
Oh, it's not going to happen.
No.
Don't get your hopes up. No way is it going to happen.
No, it's just that it just sort of reminds me that at some point I definitely will need to go out and get a PS4.
It's out 2015. I'm going to say probably summertime, my guess is. There's no release date, it's just 2015.
Yeah.
I'd buy it as the state that it's in now, to be honest. It looks and seems to play that good. But obviously it's probably going to look better. However, something you don't have to wait for. Electronic Arts gave out free games to PlayStation users.
Hooray!
If you are on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita, over the course of PSX, you could get a game for each of those systems to keep forever for free.
What did you go for?
I got them all. I didn't care. You only got a choice of one for each. And PS4 owners could download Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare,
which I thought was an Xbox One exclusive.
There you go, Dan. So I have that for PS4 now.
Well, I did like the look of that, to be honest.
It's quite fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay retail price for it, I'll be honest, but I'll pay free. So.
Well, yeah, I think I would as well.
PlayStation 3 users could download Mirror's Edge.
That's very old.
Which is very old, but leads me to believe there's going to be a Mirror's Edge 2 announcement soon.
Yeah.
So, and I haven't played it in a long time, and I've got it for Xbox, but I haven't got it for PS3. So now I have.
Well, I'm sure it looks better on that anyway.
It probably does.
Actually, I think I'm pretty sure I've got Mirror's Edge for the PS3, to be honest. I think it's like one of the first things I got when I came to Manchester.
Oh, fucking hell. It's a long time ago.
That was a long time ago, yeah.
And PS Vita owners could get Need for Speed Most Wanted. Which, I'll be honest, doesn't look half bad on Vita.
Well, again, I think that's something that's quite old. So, not...
Yeah,
it wouldn't
not
make me go,
massively
ooh, that's, you know...
They were free.
Yeah,
I've got all three consoles, so I may as well have a new game for each. And I'll probably never ever play.
Well, yeah, that's true. Never
But
mind.
I downloaded it, had a go on each of them, except Mirror's Edge. And yeah, it's free. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Don't really matter. Speaking of exclusives, Street Fighter V is a lifetime exclusive to PlayStation 4. Well, lifetime console exclusive, sorry. It's out on PS4 and PC. And I know you don't care, Dan.
Nope, not at all.
It looks phenomenal. Graphics look so good.
I've got 3 words to riposte with.
Mortal Kombat X.
Yep. Thanks very much. See you next week.
Moving on.
It's Mortal Kombat, I mean, for God's sake.
Some news that may interest you, Dan. And so, Dan hasn't got a PlayStation 4 yet. He's waiting for the right time. Uncharted's swaying him, because he does like Uncharted. Mm-hmm. He's got all the other 3. He loves them. He loves Last of Us. So I reckon you're going to get a PS4 for Uncharted.
I think so.
Would you buy a PS4 for Final Fantasy VII?
Well, as I've got it on the PS3 and I've also bought it again on the PC, no, I wouldn't buy it again.
No. Well, it's out on PS4.
Well, unless... I mean, they updated everything for the PC.
Nah, it's the PC port.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anything, they've just taken the PC one they've done. But yeah, I've already got that and I love it. So, yeah. Nope.
I'm not going to get it, to be honest.
Another one not...
I want a remake. I don't want a...
Yeah, well, they kind of did it with Crisis Core. So if they did that with the original story, and they didn't change anything, they just made it look as nice as the new ones, I'll buy it.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No. Well, think about it. I mean, they've, Final Fantasy VII, obviously one of the best-selling RPGs ever, one of the best received, certainly. They then made Crisis Core. They made Advent Children. They've released it for the PC. Now they've re-released that one for the PS4 as well. Clearly, they know people like it.
But I don't think. I think people like it for nostalgia reasons.
Well, of course. It doesn't look very good. It looks fucking awful.
Yeah, and it's. I don't think it warrants another purchase.
Well, I got it for like £7 or something.
And if you haven't played it already, this ain't going to make you fall in line with the people who have played it.
No, I think it is something that you need to have played when you were a kid.
Yeah.
And it was like 4 discs, and it was just like it was really emotional, and everyone liked it. So
I remember.
That's the only reason.
I remember crying at about 11:15 at night because I got onto the 3rd disc and the 3rd disc wouldn't work.
Oh,
and it was the day that I got it. It was like the day after I got it, and we couldn't go and take it back because it was like 11:15 at night. And Granddad's just like, go to bed and we'll take it back in the morning. I was like, I want to play it now. I did. It went back in the morning, got a replacement, but that's not the point.
No.
I was immersed. I loved it. Moving on, Twisted Metal creator David Jaffe revealed a notebook doodle multiplayer shooter called Drawn to Death, in which the entire game plays out in a lad at school who's just drawing in his notebook.
Sounds cool.
And it's all doodles, and it looks fucking brilliant.
Reminds me a bit of Stick Figure Death Theatre.
Kind of, very similar. It is 3D, but it's all drawn, if that makes sense.
No, I understand. Yeah.
And the sky, all the clouds are actually him writing. So you see when he's writing something down for work, like school, like his maths and stuff.
Yeah.
And it all happens really. It's really good. Really good.
Yeah.
Santa Monica team prep a free-to-play 5v2v5 shooter called Kill Strain. That looks pretty cool. Another free-to-play for the PS4, so considering they haven't been brilliant, I'm not got high hopes for it, but we'll see where that goes. And we saw a new video for No Man's Sky, and it looks phenomenal. Oh my god. Honestly, it looks so good.
Yeah.
Just it's just going to be amazing. Everyone's going to have a different experience. It's all procedural generated. It's going to be different for every person that plays it. Apparently, in order to explore everything in the game, our sun would have burnt out by the time you got there.
Yeah, but I don't believe anything like that.
I don't think the sun will burn out. I think people will get bored.
Well,
before that happens.
Yeah, I think people would probably get bored a lot sooner than they died, to be honest. Yeah. But it's the same sort of thing as like Borderlands. It's just like, I've got 57 billion types of gun, and you just think, wow, that's fucking amazing. And you go, well, actually, all it is just 25 gun types with slight differences.
Yeah.
So
I'll be honest. I mean, I don't think people will get bored of No Man's Sky. I just think, in order to explore every single part of the game, because it's all procedurally generated, it's going to take a long time, and I don't think you'll be playing long enough to do it.
No, there'll be way too much repetition.
Yeah. Not only that, new games will be coming out.
Well, true. But it's a nice idea. We like it.
Yeah, I really like it. Double Fine had a lot to say. Obviously, Grim Fandango being re-released for PS4 and PS Vita.
Yep.
They've done a really good job of the graphics. It's the first time we've seen any gameplay, and it looks fucking mint. And Grim Fandango is probably in my top 20 favourite games ever. So I will be getting that. And I'm not sure if you get, if you buy the Vita or the PS4 version, you get the other version for free, like you do with some games. I really hope so.
Maybe. It depends on if it's just a skin job, though.
What do you mean?
Well, if they just updated it slightly.
No, they've built it from the ground up again.
I know, but I mean, sorry, if it's the original story.
Oh yeah, it's the same game.
Yeah, then there's not really much point in, if they do sort of Metal Gear, it drops into original graphics, original stories, like a flashback or something, so be it.
Well, it's more so that you play on your PS4, then you go out, you play on your PS Vita, and your progress goes to each version, so you can carry on playing, get home, and then pick up where you left off from your Vita. That's why I like them. Also, you're going to have a shit where you play Grim Fandango.
Well, yeah.
They also showed off a new game called Gang Beasts, which is a physics sandbox game built for devising horrible ways to murder colourful little critters.
Interesting.
Looks pretty funny, and the controls are like really purposely awkward, so kind of like Octodad and Surgeon Simulator.
Right, okay.
So it's going to be pretty fucking hectic, to be honest. They're also releasing Broken Age for PS Vita and PS4. And they are also doing a remake of Day of the Tentacle for Vita and PS4 as well.
All in all, pretty good win.
Yeah, it's not bad really. Double Fine have come out on top. We also saw some more Order 1886, which I kind of dropped down a little bit because everything we kept seeing was like cutscenes.
Yeah.
And then we finally saw some more gameplay, and my faith's gone back up again. It looks fucking phenomenal. Honestly, looks really, really good. It's very Gears of War-y in terms of combat, which isn't a bad thing, providing it's Gears of War 2.
Yeah.
Not 3 or Judgment. But no, all in all, Order 1886 looks really, really good. Media Molecules showed Tearaway Unfolded. I'm not sure if it's just a remake of the Vita version for the PS4. It had a few slight differences, so I think it's kind of like an enhanced remake.
Right.
So it's got different stuff in it, but it's essentially the same game. But I really enjoyed it on the Vita. I thought it was really good. Very different. A lot of indie games. I'm not going to go through all the indie games, but there was a lot, and they all look really good. We also saw a PS4 version of The Forest, which is a survival horror game, which is currently available on early access for PC. It looked really good. I'm not sure if it looks any better than the PC version, but if not, it's certainly on par.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting. I've not actually played The Forest on PC. I don't know if you've played it or not.
No, I've seen it advertised.
It does look interesting.
Yeah, it's just another sort of indie game that just pops up and says, this is recommended for you, but I never really given much of a second thought.
Well, basically, just of it is you crash out of a plane, and this forest island area, it's inhabited by I think cannibalistic zombie fucking tribe thing, but you can build shelters and stuff and fend them off and that.
Okay.
It looks really cool. On the video we saw, he had a rock, kind of like Rust, and he fucking just bludgeoned a snake and then skinned it and made gloves out of the snake. It looked really interesting. I might actually try and give it a go for PC. Speaking of horror though, Supermassive Games Until Dawn was unveiled, and I really like the look of it. It's kind of like Heavy Rain, Resident Evil kind of shit, but based on stereotypical horror films.
Yeah. And
it slaps you in the role of a group of teens in I think they're on vacation or something, or holiday as we would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they're just getting picked off by this fucking random psycho. But all your choices affect the outcome of the game.
If it sounds a bit really like good. Saw, it's because it sounds exactly like Saw.
Yeah, it's basically Saw meets Heavy Rain meets Resident Evil meets every other horror game. But
yeah,
they have said it is purpose, it's scripted and stuff to be basically a typical horror film.
Well, that's an easy way out of it, rather than come up with anything original.
Well, no, but it's not been done before, really, in a game, if you think about it.
What, horror games?
No, slapping you in the role of somebody in a horror film.
Saw, the game.
That's good.
Saw 2. the game?
No, none of them were good.
Yeah, they were.
Fuck off. Just no.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But no, all in all, it was a really good. It was a good expo, and it was also, as I mentioned earlier, PlayStation's 20th anniversary, and you can now buy a limited edition PS1 inspired PS4.
The white one, yeah.
Well, it's grey, and the PS4 logo has been replaced with the original PlayStation logo.
That's pretty cool.
The DualShock 4 is made to look like the DualShock 1. The PlayStation Eye is grey. And it's also got every PS4 owner can download a PS1 theme, and it's even got like a new intro when you turn your console on and that.
Oh, now that is a nice touch.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can download it for the Vita as well, but you don't get the intro. I've got it on my Vita at the moment. I haven't actually got it on my PS4. I might have to download it.
Yeah.
But it's
still
just,
though,
it's just really nice.
Yeah, I'd get something like that. It sounds awesome.
And it's free, so
exactly.
if you don't like it, just fucking delete it.
Yeah.
We also saw, not at the PlayStation Experience, but over the weekend, Nintendo showed some early alpha footage of the new Zelda game for Wii U at the Game Awards.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks amazing. Like, jizz your pants amazing.
Yeah, I think you knew it probably would anyway.
Yeah, it's it doesn't look exactly like that trailer we saw, but it is early alpha footage, but it still looks fucking amazing. And considering this is running on a Wii U, it's just even more. Nintendo know how to fucking suck this shit out of their consoles.
Yeah, and the life out of their franchises.
No, not really.
They'll do it eventually.
No. Yeah,
they will.
There's at least a couple of years between every Zelda game, barring Wind Waker HD. That doesn't count.
Well, they'll do it.
No,
you mark my words.
When we talk of milking, we talk of Call of Duty, we talk of Battlefield, Assassin's Creed, fucking pretty much every other franchise.
Well, I know. I think Nintendo have nailed it because they can release Mario, they can release Luigi, Super Smash Bros, Donkey Kong. Same names they've had for 30 years, and they can still release them.
Yeah,
and
but
people still buy them.
There's probably still more Gears of Call of Duty games than there are Zelda games.
I'd still say there's more.
I wouldn't. Alright then, quality. At least every Mario game is good. And it works.
That is also true.
And you can't get it on every other system.
Unless you've got an emulator.
If you've got a Wii U emulator, what fucking PC are you running? We also don't condone emulators either.
No, of course not.
Well, no, that's it, Dan. That's it. You haven't said much this podcast. You've been quite useless.
Thanks. But you've brought all the PlayStation goodness. So I'll bring a bit of cultural goodness, if you like.
Oh God.
What?
Go on.
Right. Rocksmith have released the Bon Jovi pack, which is out and available now. However, over the next week or so, they'll be adding a really interesting new pack, which is going to be the Jimi Hendrix pack. Now that is one to look out for. So all your favourites are going to be on there. Well, I'm hoping, but it'll only be 3 or 4, so it'll be the main ones.
Speaking of milking a franchise.
Yeah, of course, because they've only got 2 games, yeah.
I was going to say Guitar Hero, to be fair.
Well, they haven't made anything in years. Certainly nothing good.
That's because they went bust.
No, it's Red Octane and Harmonix went on to do Rock Band, but again, they haven't done anything either.
One of them did DJ Hero.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, as soon as you've got to swap genres, that's when you know that you're pretty much dying on your arse.
Harmonica Hero, they should do that.
Yeah, Banjo Hero.
Banjo Hero. Speaking of stuff, when are we going to get a new Banjo-Kazooie?
That's a good point, actually. A new Banjo game would be quite nice.
Mm.
Yeah.
They're saying, because obviously it's going to be on an Xbox, because Microsoft bought Rare.
Yeah.
But I still don't think it'll happen. But they should, because there's nothing to rival. Like Super Mario 3D World was amazing, there's nothing to rival that and anything else.
Yeah, you're right.
So
well, we can only hope.
Oh! I forgot. God of War.
You've mentioned it. That'll do.
There you go. We didn't say anything. They just said it's happening.
Well, there you go.
So that's done. There's also, if you Google it, look back at 20 years of PlayStation, but it's all done in Little Big Planet 3, and it's really fucking cool.
We'll have to look at it.
It's only like 2 or 3 minutes long, but it's really well done. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
We also actually saw some Little Big Planet 3, but yeah, I love Little Big Planet, but it's getting old now.
Yeah. Zelda, on the other hand,
Zelda looks phenomenal.
It's young and youthful, and yeah,
it just looks really good. And I'm still shocked that it's on a Wii U. Well, I'm not shocked because you see yourself how good some Wii U games look. Anyway, what have we got coming up on the channel, Dan?
Some garage mod.
We have some Prop Hunt Murderer.
Yes. And some murder, or whatever it's called, Murder Hunt. Other than that, I don't know. What about? What are you thinking?
Some
probably.
Some Minosaurs, some DayZ.
Yeah, we've had...
after our DayZ interruption, stupid false update.
Yeah, Steam may be a bit misleading at the moment. It's basically saying that vehicles have been introduced. They haven't, so try not to get your hopes up too much. But basically the developers have said that they've completed the framework for vehicles, and it should be introduced within the few weeks, and this is going to be basic vehicles only. So assume as far as maybe cars, quad bikes, bicycles, something along those sort of lines. You're not going to be getting tanks, helicopters.
Would you say bicycles are basic? Because the animation on it...
Well, if it's a first-person server, then you're not really looking at anything.
I suppose.
Well, I'd like to think, because obviously they've been doing things with the like the meat, and now you can actually harvest meat off people.
What?
Yeah, so that's a new thing.
Walking Dead.
But unfortunately, though, as is real life, if you eat human meat, you basically get the human version of mad cow disease. So,
is that true?
Yeah. There are diseases. It's something to do with proteins or something like that. It's like aggressive proteins. Or,
even if you cook it properly. I'm not going to do it, but...
No, I also wouldn't suggest that anybody else tries to.
No, we don't condone cannibalism either.
No.
Emulation
we stand against
cannibalism.
the big issues at PvP. But yeah, it is a real thing, and it's something they've introduced to the game as well. So unless you're super desperate and have to kill someone in your own group so the rest can survive, which would make some interesting conversations, I suppose. But that is going to be added. So yeah, hopefully over the next couple of weeks or so, we should see cars of some sort being introduced.
Thing is, a couple of weeks though, because we're into December now. That could still lead into 2016.
Well, 15, I hope you mean.
2015, sorry.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how they've
got a bit there.
Yeah, I mean Q1 should still be January to March.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'd hope January to fucking April. Sorry.
April.
Yeah, but so maybe that's why they're just sort of releasing the devlogs at the moment, just to sort of say in the few weeks. So when we do get into Q1, they'll be there ready to go.
Yeah.
But they've still added more items. There's a new few guns that have been added in. They're going to be working on the zombie skins as well to improve the AI and the look of the zombies as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you've got it in the Steam sales, well done. I hope you still got it for a decent price. If not, it's not going to be under 20 quid anymore.
No, it's £35.
Yes, you'll have to wait until the next sale comes along if you want to be a part of it.
Which, I think is a bit steep.
It's still an early alpha, but considering I spent 20 quid on the day it came out, the changes. It's one of the first where you can actually see how much work is being put into it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it's...
I definitely wouldn't have paid for it when you got it. No way. I did pay for it anyway because you bought it me. But
well, yeah, true. But the thing is, though, at the start there wasn't anything to it at all. It was just my own excitement for something like this.
Yeah.
That I went out and got it. But I mean, it's already won so many awards just off the bare bones that it is at the moment. So there's no proper animations. There's still so many glitches and problems. Things don't work properly. Things are in there that don't work at all. And yet it's still winning awards for best IP
yeah.
and stuff like that. It's amazing. So if you do see it,
It is just you voting.
No, I've never done any votes or reviews or anything on Steam. Like, no one's going to take my opinion into account anyway, so fuck it.
Dan from PvP. Holy shit. We're at the big leagues now.
Yeah.
We've also got we've got another episode of PvP's Can You Believe It coming up. Because we said we were going to do it last time and we didn't. So
Yeah. Still though,
it's
pretty fun.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good little
Yeah,
take.
we'll do some more, yeah.
So we'll do another one of those, but other than that, that's it. So, as always, Dan, the last 3 things you put in your pocket.
Hand, phone, carrot, I think, when I was coming back from the kitchen.
Right, thanks for listening. Say goodbye, Dan.
Bye.
Bye. A fucking carrot.
Oh, yes. Yes.